Hello, hello. Welcome back. All right. So, Ophiuchus, let's go ahead and jump on in and say, what is the lifestyle that Ophiuchus is supposed to have, right? There's lots of timelines out there and lots of time to be alive and to, choose pathways for ourselves in this lifetime. But what is a pathway that maybe Ophiuchus, hi, baby, that Ophiuchus hasn't enjoyed yet, but is still out there for them? We start out with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, hold on, because this is either a pathway where Ophiuchus is possibly going to be able to put a stop to somebody who either wants to take from them, or they may recognize that somebody has not been very generous. We have a Seven of Pentacles. There's definitely a change in abundance. This is after a period of time. It feels like Ophiuchus is going to be able to see the forest for the trees, so to speak. They may recognize that somebody has not been super generous. They may see the reality of the way someone's been behaving. Three of Pentacles sideways, and this might change how they interact with this person. This might change who they interact with. This might change how much they give of themselves to this individual. Prince of Coins in the reverse, full-on timeline shift. This could be Ophiuchus will recognize that they no longer want to work for a particular company anymore. Maybe the money's not that good after all. Maybe the situation that they're like, oh, this is great. Over time, it's like, hey, wait a second. No, this isn't great. I haven't had a raise in forever. They're letting me do all this, but we're not really moving up. Or wait a second. This person is kind of like here to mooch a little bit, or this could be about relationships. It seems like it's about money, to be honest. It could be that Ophiuchus is like, yeah, no, I'm definitely not going to keep renting from this place or be a roommate to this person. I'm going to move out and find a different place to live, because I'm realizing that they are expecting me to do all these household chores and pay all this extra, money. No, I didn't sign up to be somebody's, maid service in addition to paying to live here. This isn't going to work. It could be something along those lines, but it's definitely somebody who I think Ophiuchus realizes they've been getting a little too much from me. I think it's time that I cut them off and I start connecting with someone else. I think this has been a while coming, and I think this Ophiuchus is very much like connected to their higher self. They may have had they could have had somebody like older and wiser like call it and be like, Ophiuchus, I can see that you're amazing. I can see you work really hard. I can see you're giving a lot, but ask yourself, are you getting enough in return? It just kind of looks like Ophiuchus has recognized like something that they intuitively knew, but I almost feel like a wiser, older individual might have called it like they saw it also. And it might have been just that little bit of like, oh, how funny. So you saw that too. You could read the situation. Yeah, it's okay. We got the Princess of Wands here. Ophiuchus is kind of meant to move on. They already spent enough time building, developing, giving to something. And to their credit, they probably worked really hard. They can walk out with their head held high. But they didn't do enough to keep Ophiuchus around. So it's their loss 100%. But Ophiuchus is not worse for the wear. Ophiuchus is moving on, and they've got a new spark of ideas. If anything, I think that they're going to be super excited to leave something behind, because I think it was draining them a bit. I think that Ophiuchus has more ideas, more love, more Justice card is sideways. I definitely think that they're going to be moving into the chapter of their life where their expectations, their excitement surges, and they're going to start getting back some of what they gave a little. It feels like they gave too much. It feels like Ophiuchus kind of got taken for a ride a little bit, but the universe has an interesting way of giving it all back. The universe has an interesting way. Let's say Ophiuchus stayed at a job and they're like, I stayed here too long. I never got those raises. I worked extra for what I was supposed to. And I realized it would have just, let me keep going. But you know what? I worked there long enough to make an amazing resume for myself. And that's going to get me this next job. And it's going to be freaking fantastic. Or I start my own shindig and I can say, oh yeah, I worked for that one company for however long. And people are going to be like, what? Wow. And it's like, Ophiuchus doesn't even have to say, yeah, it's not all it was cracked up to be. Ophiuchus can kind of hold that internally and just be like, you know what? Maybe I had to work extra hard. Maybe I kind of got taken advantage of to a certain extent. But my tree of life is soaring and growing. I am healed from this, and I will make something extra out of the experience that I had. This could have actually helped Ophiuchus place deeper roots. This could be a relationship that Ophiuchus is ending with. It still felt like it was more about finances first, or career path, or living situations, like matters of abundance more so than romance. But the universe has an interesting way of making sure that a character gets what's fair and what should be theirs, sometimes not in a 1-to-1 ratio, but instead in a different way that this can come back to them. Ophiuchus might wind up having like a surge of new opportunities. They may feel very like rested. They may, heck, I mean, this could be with the Four of Swords, this can be like a sense of peace and quiet, or something. They could, heck, win a spa package or something, or get to go and relax. We've got a Prince of Cups. I almost feel this is so bizarre. I know this is so bizarre, but if Ophiuchus is like ending some kind of career path where it's like, wow, I gave a ton, but they may have a really great resume or something, Ophiuchus could be offered some opportunity to like, hey, I'm going to be taking a trip, but I need somebody to go with me. Could I pay you to be my entourage, to be my, companion? This could be like an elderly person or somebody who wants Ophiuchus to go somewhere with them. And it's like, sure, I'll go to Italy with you. Sure, yeah, this sounds amazing. It could be family related. This could be like a great aunt, a great uncle, somebody who is like, hey, would you come with me? It feels like it would be a dream come true. Again, when the universe gives something back, sometimes it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Sometimes we get gifts that come in a whole different form. The reason I'm suggesting something like this is because we have an elder here. We have somebody who they've been alive long enough to see what the story is. And I feel like this is somebody who wants to be a part of, like, saying that Ophiuchus, man, they got a raw deal. They weren't treated very well. But you know what? I wouldn't mind hiring them for something and also giving them a huge gift in the process. It could be something along those lines. If Ophiuchus needs a different place to live, maybe this is, a family member or some elderly person or something who's like, I have a really nice place to live and I summer here and winter there. I wouldn't mind paying them to be my companion. That would be an amazing thing. And if Ophiuchus is into that, maybe this could be great for them. It feels like there's a lot of like family support, family healing. It feels like there's something that, I know these are all very specific messages, and it doesn't have to be this precisely. It's just, I'm throwing out concepts that I see on these cards of like, sometimes we get a gift from the universe that comes through an avenue that we didn't expect. And it is to help, like give back something. Because Ophiuchus really, they poured everything they had into an experience and they didn't get much back for it, but it's going to come back to Ophiuchus. They're going to get the reward. They're going to get, in this case, it could be maybe Ophiuchus ends up meeting somebody that's just really loving, really kind. This could be a new romantic partner. It could be somebody that Ophiuchus meets right on the tail end of like walking away from some kind of like gruesome, lengthy, exhausting experience that they had. And now somebody wonderful and generous is coming in. That Prince of Cups, this is an action taker that's bringing in a beautiful offer. It is heartfelt. It is an emotional offer. We have an 8 of Wands in the reverse. Ophiuchus doesn't have to say yes to this, but definitely they're going to have a choice. If before Ophiuchus didn't feel like they had very many choices, they just had to keep grinding away and working really hard, it could be really wonderful for Ophiuchus to be the person in the power position. Something's going to be offered and they can choose to accept or reject. That alone can feel very empowering. With that 3 of Cups, I don't know. I feel like this says, oh, Ophiuchus, this could be like the next chapter of their life. This could be an awesome opportunity. When a gift is given, and it's up to Ophiuchus to decide whether or not they want to accept. I mean, they can stop and they can think about it and they can vet it and they can ask a few other people, what would you do if you were in my shoes? Ophiuchus might want to talk to some trusted friends and be like, okay, so I'm going through the weirdest chapter of my life. I've just ended some stuff. Now, unexpectedly, I have this new offer that's coming in. What would you do if you were me? And it's like, they could turn to some friends for some support and some like advice before they make their decision. Again, that is part of Ophiuchus being empowered and being gifted something. It's like Ophiuchus, it's all up to you, baby. You are not at the mercy of somebody else and what they want. You get to pick for you. And I think that's part of what Ophiuchus is supposed to be given. Ophiuchus already knows that they want this. Whatever it is, they're like, I don't even know why I'm hemming and hawing about this, because I felt like something had to give, something had to change. I needed to have another opportunity. And then to have that Three of Wands here, I needed my future to look different. Something had to change for me. And so sure enough, it is. It's really nice. It's really beautiful. It's a terrific amount of energy to see shifting and taking on new shape and new form in Ophiuchus's life. But I kind of think that they already know this is the right path for them. This is an opportunity that they're not going to want to miss. This is something beautiful that's being gifted to them that I think they know is just for them. Final message on this. I'm coming, my love. Three of Cups, yet again. It's a time for celebration. It's a time for life to feel easier. It's a time to spend more time with friends. It's kind of like Ophiuchus is headed for a life of greater ease, maybe a life with a little bit of champagne, a little bit of partying. I don't think they've had a good time in a long time. I feel like this Ophiuchus has had an awful lot that they've had to take care of and not a whole lot of free time. Hi, baby. Anyway, my baby is here, so I must go. But hi. We had a special request for Aries to pop up last night over on Tarot Dog, but he was napping. But Ophiuchus, he always seems to show up for you guys. I think Ophiuchus more than any other zodiac. So anyway, guys, I think Aries is our good luck charm on this. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.